Harry S. Truman, the man who would guide America through the tumultuous early years of the Cold War, had humble beginnings. Born in Lamar, Missouri in 1884, Truman's childhood was shaped by small-town values and hard work. He grew up on the family farm near Independence, Missouri, developing a strong work ethic and a love for history. After high school, Truman worked a series of jobs, including a stint as a bank clerk and a brief, unsuccessful attempt at gold mining. He eventually returned to the family farm, where he learned the value of perseverance and responsibility. During World War I, Truman served with distinction as a captain in the Missouri National Guard, leading an artillery battery in France. This experience instilled in him a deep sense of patriotism and a first-hand understanding of the costs of war. These early experiences, far removed from the halls of power, would shape Truman's character and influence his decisions when he assumed the presidency. Following World War I, Truman returned to Missouri and entered the world of politics. He served as a county judge, a position more akin to a county commissioner today. In 1934, he was elected to the United States Senate. As a senator, Truman gained a reputation for honesty and integrity. He chaired the Senate Special Committee to investigate the National Defense Program, known as the Truman Committee. This committee investigated waste and corruption in wartime contracts, saving taxpayers millions of dollars. Truman's work on the committee brought him national recognition. In 1944, he was chosen as Franklin D. Roosevelt's running mate. Truman became vice president in January 1945. Just 3 months later, President Roosevelt died, and Harry S. Truman unexpectedly became the 33rd President of the United States. President Truman faced enormous challenges as he led America through the end of World War II and the beginning of the Cold War. One of his most significant accomplishments was the Marshall Plan, named after Secretary of State George C. Marshall. Europe lay in ruins after the war. Millions were homeless, economies were devastated. The Soviet Union, under Joseph Stalin, sought to exploit the chaos and spread communism. The Marshall Plan, launched in 1948, provided billions of dollars in aid to rebuild war-torn European nations. The plan was a resounding success. It helped to revive European economies, strengthen democratic institutions, and contain the spread of communism. The Marshall Plan stands as a testament to Truman's vision and leadership in the face of global crisis. One of the most consequential and controversial decisions of Truman's presidency was the use of atomic bombs against Japan in 1945. The war in the Pacific had been raging for 4 long years. American casualties were mounting. Japan, despite facing imminent defeat, refused to surrender. Truman faced a stark choice: invade Japan, which would result in massive casualties on both sides, or use the newly developed atomic bomb. Believing it would save American lives and ultimately end the war, Truman made the agonizing decision to use the bombs. On August 6, 1945, an American B-29 bomber dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. 3 days later, a second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. The devastation was unimaginable. Hundreds of thousands of Japanese civilians were killed instantly, and many more would die in the aftermath from radiation sickness. Truman left office in 1953. He returned to Independence, Missouri, where he lived a quiet life with his wife, Bess. He dedicated himself to establishing his presidential library and writing his memoirs. Though he had faced criticism for his handling of the Korean War and other issues, Truman's reputation grew in the years after his presidency. He was admired for his honesty, his decisiveness, and his commitment to democracy. The Truman Library, which opened in 1957, became a center for scholarly research and a popular tourist destination. Truman remained active in public life, speaking out on political issues and advocating for civic engagement. Harry S. Truman's presidency was a pivotal period in American history. He guided the nation through the end of World War II, made the difficult decision to use atomic bombs, and laid the foundation for the Cold War. His policies, such as the Truman Doctrine and the Marshall Plan, helped to shape the post-war world. Truman's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He was a man of contradictions, a humble haberdasher who rose to the highest office in the land, a plain-spoken man who made decisions of extraordinary consequence. But above all, Truman was a man of courage and conviction who always put the interests of his country first. He left an indelible mark on American history, reminding us that even ordinary individuals can rise to meet extraordinary challenges.